We now return to the Transformers.
Hey, what's up everybody? Primus Prime 22 here.
I'm using Primus Prime 22 as my name when I talk about Transformers stuff. Everywhere else it's Commander Radix. I'm trying that out for a little bit. I don't know how confusing or unnecessarily complicated that's going to be.
Bring you another video. Really, we're at the first video of Transformers Talk. Transformers Talk? Transformers Talk. Yeah. This is my little series where I talk about Transformers stuff, I guess. Now make no mistake, 100% of my content isn't changing to Transformers. It's just, there is a section of my content that will be Transformers Talks. So, I hope you guys who are clamoring for Transformers stuff enjoy. I'm also wearing my Season 3 villain coat. So I look like a Season 3 villain. You know the ones. Let's get to my point. Cyberverse, good. Now, when Transformers Cyberverse was announced, I didn't really care for it. In fact, I was sort of turned off by it, by the fact that it used character designs that looked, how do I want to say, overly play school-ish, maybe is what I want to go for. Oh, but Radix, Transformers is a children's franchise. Yes. There's no getting around that, is there? But Transformers, despite being a children's franchise, still has the capacity to develop content that can be enjoyable by both new fans and old fans alike. After all, it's a story of war. War is one of those themes that war is a sort of genre you can explore lots of themes that can make all the kids go, ooh, look, robots fighting each other, while, you know, a more mature audience might be able to, you know, pick apart more themes and stuff like that. It's something that can be enjoyed by all. Now, it is a children's franchise. Not everything Transformers has to appeal to the general audience and not just for children. But I'm sort of the opinion that the main series probably should, you know, be geared towards children, but have a little bit that an older audience can enjoy. That's sort of how I feel the main line should be. So I just want to get that out there before I get into this sort of pseudo-review. Because it's very easy to just, you know, dismiss me by taking a children's franchise too seriously. And at the end of the day, I'm self-aware of this too, you know. So, but back to Cyberverse. When it was first announced, when you first saw the first character designs, I'm like, that doesn't look swell, I guess. Maybe it's not for me. Oh, what's that? That's going to be the main line of Transformers from this point on? Oh, boy. Dark days loomed ahead, especially in that time period when the comics, which were once the shining star of the Transformers franchise, started to become bad. Meanwhile, the meta continuity from like the Fun Publication stuff was disappeared, Thanos'd away. The films were getting crappier, with The Last Night being like one of the only Transformers movie I walked out genuinely disliking was Transformers The Last Night. That's not to say the others were good, mind you. I could enjoy some brain deadness. But Last Night was a different kind of And the main TV show at that point was Transformers Robots in Disguise, which I recently made a review that I did a long time ago of Season 1 public, and I gave Season 1 some positive reviews in that video. But I mentioned that if it doesn't change for future seasons, I'm going to have an issue. There was no progress made in Robots in Disguise for however seasons it lasted. It was crap. Season 1 was fine, it's just you need to build up to more things in Season 2. If by like Season 3 or whatever, you're still in the middle of this canyon, this sort of crater in the middle of nowhere with all this scrap around you, you know, you're not really progressing much, are you? So that was a dark time for people who enjoyed, you know, the wider Transformers mythos, I guess. Now, of course, there was Transformers Legends and there was Rescue Bots, but of course, Rescue Bots is one of those examples that I talked about earlier where, you know, something that can be purely based for the children. It's not meant to be a broader audience thing, but it also wasn't meant to be the main line of Transformers. Rescue Bots is good for what it is, you know, it can stay in that corner, but it doesn't satisfy, you know, the needs of, I guess, a more older audience, I guess. And Legends was good. It's just, I'm sorry if you don't speak Japanese. There are some translations for some of them out there, but And then it's very hard to find the full story of Legends as well, because a lot of it isn't on the web. Or not all of it, some of it's not on the web, I should say. And the new series that was looming in, coming towards us as everything was dying around us was Cyberverse. And it didn't look like it was going to be very promising, did it? And then Cyberverse came out. So here's what I want to have to say about Cyberverse. At the time of recording, the Grimlock episode has come out, so I think it's like episode 15-ish. And I will say this. Transformers Cyberverse is the breath of fresh air we need right now. So let me just shotgun some things out there. It has about a 10-minute runtime. I like that. It gets to the point rather quickly. It doesn't bore you with filler. Animation is smooth, despite being 3D CG, which Transformers has had an issue with before. It's a smooth 3D CG, and when I say smooth, I also mean it's not choppy, like some series tended to be for aesthetic purposes. Oh, I completely forgot to mention another crappy thing that was going on while everything was dying around us. The Prime Wars trilogy. Jesus Christ. What a mess that was. But I digress. Cyberverse was a good, webisode, 10-minute, 3D animated series, which is good because the last 3 we got of those were crap. Cyberverse characters are pretty good. I don't know how to describe how I feel about the characters. Let's take Bumblebee for example. Bumblebee isn't forced into a position of leadership. His personality is very much Bumblebee. They've managed to keep the best of both worlds by having Bumblebee be able to talk and Bumblebee speaking through the radio, through the mind stuff. He acts good. He acts like a Bumblebee instead of other Bumblebees. Windblade is a very enjoyable character. Sometimes Windblade can just be a jerk. Sometimes Windblade can be inconsistent. I don't hate Windblade for, on the virtue of her being Windblade. Some people have argued that Windblade has an inconsistent characterization across the different medias, and that's a bad thing. Every Transformer character has different characterizations across the media. But this version of Windblade I like. She's consistent. She's not a jerk. And all the other characters are pretty good. Some of them aren't necessarily based too much from previous. Here's the good thing about Cyberverse. It takes the stuff you like, but also isn't afraid to just go off on its own path and do something different. That's sort of what I liked about the early IDW universe stuff. It takes the core of what people like and then changes some things. And I think that's that helps keep things fresh instead of another retread of Generation 1. And now, to the point that I think everyone wants to hear me talk about, the lore. Or should I say, fan service. And when I say fan service, we tend to think of anime, but fan service is really just, here's a definition of fan service. Just throwing a lot of continuity, well, I won't say continuity, a lot of legacy references. A lot of references to things that are similar or the same from previous iterations of Transformers. Why is my house shaking? Is that an airstrike? Can you guys hear that? Am I gonna get bombed? Oh no, not again. It's my haters. They heard I was talking about Transformers again. I don't know if you guys could have heard that, but there was legitimately the house was shaking from some sort of, I assume, aircraft flying above. Oh, maybe it's the Ark. Maybe that's the secret. Where was I? The lore. I've seen a lot of people say Cyberverse is full of lore. It's full of references to things that you've heard of. Lore has been dead since essentially the end of Fun Publications, but at least the wider scope of the lore, in-universe lore, in the individual universe, because the multiverse is essentially dead now. In-universes, lores still exist, it's hard to unwrite something that happened in the past, but treading forward, a lot of the stuff that connected the different universes together are gone. Cyberverse references stuff from previous iterations, like I said, and it's world building. It's certainly world building. And I do enjoy that, especially when we're in a sort of time period where continuity seems to not matter. Lore is just tossed aside for any ideas the writers want to express. So yeah, I really appreciate the sort of lip service Cyberverse gives to previous iterations of Transformers. I think that's one of the most enjoyable parts of the series, along with the characters, the duration of episodes, etc. Now here's the thing about Cyberverse. This is why I said it's a breath of fresh air. It's genuinely fun, but like I said, it's the series we need right now. It's not the series we need forever, which means I hope we can use, I hope creators can learn from Cyberverse on how to set up that foundation and then move on, you know, get back on the creative process. We were sort of on a creative process with Transformers before. I don't know what happened from like late 2016 to early 2018. It was like a second Dark Ages. I say second Dark Ages because there certainly was a first Dark Age. So hopefully, I just hope Cyberverse marks the beginning of a new age that's better than what we have been getting. And right now, it actually looks to be taking that path. The Transformers franchise looks to be taking a better path. Transformers Bumblebee has been getting great reviews. Not even Transformers Bumblebee, it's just Bumblebee. Bumblebee, the movie, is getting great reviews. I look forward to seeing that and seeing how that plays out. Hopefully it's as good as people are saying it is. It's been a long time since there have been overwhelmingly positive reviews of a Bayverse film, even if it's not directed by Michael Bay. IDW comics have ended. IDW's Transformer comics have ended, but they're going to start up something new. I'm conflicted over how I feel about that because we have no idea what's coming up next. We don't know if it's going to be like another tie-in with like the show, if it's going to be like, you know, the Robots in Disguise comic where it's just or if it's going to be like a third new comic universe or fourth, you know, Marvel, Dreamwave, IDW 2, we don't know if that's going to be like the successor in that line of Transformers comics, or if it's just going to be another sort of more corporate tie-in type things. But we'll have to see how the comics do in the future. But movies are looking to be good. Cyberverse as a show is pretty good, although it's not on television, I don't think. It's only on YouTube, and I believe it's region locked for the United States, which is going to be bad when it's quite possible I won't be in the United States in like 8 months or something. There's a Rescue Bot show going on, but that's, you know, still in the corner. I forget about Rescue Bot sometimes. So even though there's that Rescue Bot show on air, I believe, you know, I haven't checked in on it. Cyberverse still isn't on air, and that's interesting. That we don't have a mainline, as far as I know, we don't have a mainline new Transformers series on air. That could be a problem. But at the very least, Cyberverse has given me hope in the future of the franchise, I guess. Gives me hope on the road Transformers will be taking. But yeah, what do you guys think of Cyberverse? Because, you know, every YouTuber has to end with a cliche. I gave my opinions, now you guys give me. Because I'm totally not saying that because that helps with the algorithm of my videos being promoted with the comments. And totally because I care about your opinions. But yeah, what do you guys think of Cyberverse? I've actually seen some people who have at least used to subscribe to me in the comment sections of Cyberverse videos, which I think is interesting. But if you have not seen Cyberverse, yeah, I would recommend seeing it if you're a Transformers fan. But yeah, what do you guys think? Anything I said that you agree with? Anything I said that you disagree with? Anything that you might want to hear more clarification of my opinions on, I guess? I'll try to keep active in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. To those of you who are subscribed to my channel not for Transformers, don't worry, Transformers Talk is not the primary series of my channel, it's just a series. But yeah. Oh, there are going to be some re-uploaded Transformers videos. Again, to the people who don't like Transformers on this channel, I'm sorry, it's just a re-upload. Or a few, I think about 3 re-uploads. 2 from the Transformers Lore channel and 1 privated video that's a subbed version of Transformers Portal. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, see you around. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I end videos. See you around. Oh, I recorded new footage, B-roll footage for my end cards. That's just me dancing in a field.